Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss a story that digs deep into history's forgotten corners. Today, we're uncovering a culinary practice from the 1940s that almost disappeared: cooking with hay. It's a skill that seems, well, a bit bizarre now, but was once a crucial tool in the housewife's survival kit during wartime shortages. This isn't just an odd historical footnote. It's a lesson in resourcefulness, sustainability, and flavor that modern cooks and survival enthusiasts can still apply. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll not only understand why hay mattered, but how you could experiment with it safely today. Housewives turned to hay because it was an affordable and versatile cooking material. During the 1940s, especially in wartime Europe and America, housewives faced a scarcity of fuel, kitchen equipment, and even fresh produce. Coal, wood, and gas were rationed, and urban households often struggled to cook meals efficiently. Enter hay, a cheap, renewable material that could serve as both insulation and cooking fuel. Housewives discovered that hay, when properly dried and handled, could generate a consistent heat without the flare-ups common with wood or coal. They would line roasting pans with hay to protect delicate meats from burning or create an indirect heat source for stews. It was both practical and ingenious, and understanding this gives us insight into how ordinary people adapted to extraordinary circumstances. Hay was used not just for heat, but for flavouring food naturally. One of the most surprising aspects of hay cooking was its flavour. The dried grass imparted a subtle, earthy aroma to meats, breads and root vegetables. Housewives often wrap poultry in hay before roasting, allowing the hay to act as a buffer against direct heat, while also infusing the bird with nuanced flavour notes. Cooks of the era even experimented with soaking hay in milk or broth before placing it in the pan, effectively creating a steaming environment that kept food moist while layering in taste. This was an early form of what modern chefs might call aromatic smoking, but without the need for specialized equipment. The technique was as much about taste as it was about survival. Using hay required precision and understanding of materials. Housewives learned to select hay that was dry, free from mould, and sourced from specific grains like timothy or oat hay, which burned evenly and smelled pleasant. Wet or green hay could smother flames or release bitter flavours, so the skill involved a careful assessment of the material. They also had to manage airflow carefully. Hay could burn too quickly if confined in a tight space, so pans were often lined loosely, and ovens adjusted to a lower temperature to accommodate the slower, indirect heat. This was a hands-on form of engineering in the kitchen, combining observation, timing, and intuition. This skill had survival implications beyond taste and economy. In times of scarcity, the ability to cook efficiently could mean the difference between wasted food and a nourishing meal. Hay cooking allowed housewives to make the most of every scrap of meat or vegetable, slow roasting tougher cuts to tenderness and using the aromatic smoke to mask the flavour of less than perfect ingredients. For survivalists today, this teaches a broader lesson. Unconventional materials can be used safely to cook food in emergencies. For instance, hay could substitute for kindling in a controlled outdoor setting, or be used to insulate a Dutch oven over coals. Knowing how to identify safe, burnable plant matter is a transferable skill from history straight to modern survival scenarios. You can experiment with hay cooking safely today. For those interested in hands-on history or culinary experimentation, there are safe ways to try this method. First, source clean, dry hay from an organic or reputable supplier. Never use mouldy or chemically treated hay. Wrap meat or vegetables in a thin layer and place it in an oven-safe tray, keeping a water pan nearby to prevent flare-ups. Some chefs also line baking sheets with hay and roast bread or root vegetables, producing subtle, earthy undertones reminiscent of 1940s kitchens. Beyond flavor, practicing this technique cultivates patience and observation skills, qualities every historian and survivalist can appreciate. Rediscovering lost culinary skills connects us to the past in practical ways. The story of housewives cooking with hay isn't just about quirkiness, it's about resourcefulness, ingenuity, and resilience. These women adapted to shortages with creativity, producing nourishing meals with minimal resources. For modern viewers, it's a reminder that history holds practical lessons, and that even the simplest materials can be harnessed with skill and care. By exploring and experimenting with these forgotten techniques, we connect directly with the lives, challenges, and solutions of the past. If this dive into a lost survival skill fascinated you, don't forget to subscribe to Atten Recounts and share this video with fellow history enthusiasts. Every story we uncover keeps the ingenuity of the past alive. And who knows, the next skill you learn from history could be one you use in your own kitchen or survival scenario.